Well, when it comes to patriarchy and women's subjugation, some of the dominant and most ordinary behaviors are still visible in our society. When it comes to the discussion of women empowerment, enactment, and teaching, society basically focuses on males. A leaking sink, uncomfortable close-up shots of leftover food, repeated shots of vegetables being cut, the smoke and fire of rice being cooked in a hearth, the clanging of the dishes being washed in a drab, unremarkable kitchen which almost becomes solitary confinement for the female protagonist. This is what happens in Geo Baby written and directed Malayalam family drama movie The Great Indian Kitchen. Nimisha Sajian as the wife and Suraj as the archetype husband showcase the different modes of patriarchy of such large and thousands of books and theories being developed in the area of women empowerment. Basically, Nimisha, who expects a better and well settled family, gets wedlocked to a socially reputable job holder Suraj, who at the beginning of their relationship appears happy and humble husband, well caring. However, as the time passes by and Nimisha has to take care of all the household chores from cooking, cleaning to even the most basic and bizarre job of putting paste on her father-in-law's brush and hand over to him every morning after breakfast implants the women as a mere daily core performer for all the family members where she gets married to. But slowly, when Nimisha realizes that she has been trapped into a domestic housewife who at night has to fulfill the physical call of her husband and at day has to spend alone with kitchen tools, she tries to get a job of her passion as a classical dance teacher. But when she puts her request to her husband and father in law, her husband abandons her idea by promising her to discuss the issue at proper time, which she knows will never come, and moreover, her father in law sarcastically rejects her idea by saying it won't suit their family reputation. As the time grows old, she is often asked to cook rice and firewood, which, according to her father in law, tastes healthy, and grind the chutney with hands on a stone slate. The situation becomes so tense and objurgating for her when she isn't allowed to go anywhere during her periods and gets locked into a small room with changeable mats and thin bed sheets, while her husband goes through a sacred ritual during which he and his wife are not supposed to come together. This is at the same moment she realizes her place in the family of overwhelming traditional orientation. In a scene when she rushes to help her scooty fallen husband, he, instead of admiring her care, throws her thoughts away from him, accusing her to have spoiled the pure religious abstinence. Besides that, her father in law starts praying to God to save his family when he notices that she has been walking around the house freely touching the tulsi flower. On her re emphasis on working outside, her in law vehemently rejects the idea by saying his wife is postgraduate too. However, how calmly she has successfully been able to adjust to the housewife role, stating for a woman working as the housewife is a greater job than ministers and leaders. So she has no option but to revolt against her last will. A remarkable thing is here that both men are not portrayed as angry or violent characters, but as soft spoken ones who calmly impose their will on the woman, like slow, sweet poison. Case in point, how the father in law asks her not to take up a job at dance school. This portrayal is potent because it makes these characters more identifiable with a lot of people around us. In a breathtaking scene, Suraj displays controlled anger when asked about the difference in his stable manners inside and outside the home. In the next scene, Nimisha is again lovingly forced to apologize against her will, just like how she involuntarily participates in sexual acts with him at bedtime and asking a lovely approach to their physical intimacy. Her husband ridicules her by saying how smart she's been being aware of all sorts of those things. In a request to foreplay, he expresses his perception towards her and says he never feels that much intimacy with her. And being unable to control all the frustration, anger, and confinement, she at last leaves the husband's home and starts her job as a classical dance teacher. Every time the movie shifts the camera on a female character, we see her in the kitchen or attending to the men in the house. While the women toil and break their backs in the kitchen, the men are lazing around, scrolling through videos and WhatsApp, and leaving behind food waste on the dining table for the women to clean. The film's most beautiful but haunting shots take place in the kitchen. As the camera zooms in on the food being prepared, All one could think of is how lip-smackingly delicious it could taste. But as the camera pans on the women who are making those dishes, working in the most horrible conditions, it's a stark reminder of the reality and how patriarchy has enslaved women. The movie also exhibits the hypocrisy of all those religious Orthodox males when it comes to their turn, whether it be eating beef and forcing their wife to remain sacred and praying and worshipping God as if the most disciplined follower of the religion. Unasked, does your wife eat beef? Suraj replies that she is an outsider and will slowly develop that habit. Thus, in one side, those who claim the protector of religion seem to mock the religious codes and conducts when it comes to them. The story portrays how a woman, despite being highly educated, will have unrealized times coming up above patriarchy strong culture. The gender gap still persists despite the millions of lectures and theories propounded in classrooms and seminars to counter the very thing. Thank you, viewers. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and share the content. We'll meet you in the next video.